Next, we're going to create the vocal sound. Keep in mind, because we're not using any EQ or compression on the way in the analog domain, everything we're doing here is non-destructive. It's not being printed this way, so we can always change it later. And that's the biggest advantage of doing it this way, versus using outboard EQ and compressors. We don't have to commit to this sound, although I do try to get the sound as finished as possible. It's more exciting or inspiring for the singer, and it's easy to tell if the vocal tracks are keepers, because they'll sound more finished. So let's start off by hearing the vocal and figure out how we can make it sound better.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear, even though all my intentions happen from the heart.
The first thing I'm noticing is that the vocal sounds a little muddy in the low end, so let's put an EQ on there. We'll use the EQ that comes with Pro Tools, but any EQ that you have should work about the same. There's nothing special about this one. We'll start off by rolling off the low end with a high-pass filter.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear, even though all my intentions happen from the heart.
Now if we bring it up too high, it makes it sound pretty thin.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear, even though all my intentions happen from...
Right about there filters out all the low-end rumble, but I'm still noticing some chestiness in the lower mid-range, and rather than bringing this up higher, I'm going to use a different EQ filter, a parametric one, to cut the lower mid-range, and to find that spot where it sounds too chesty or woofy.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear, even though all my intentions happen from the heart.
Without,
don't you go, this I need you to hear.
It's quite muddy. With,
don't you go, this I need you to hear.
It's a lot clearer. So let's go with this for now. Next thing I want to add is some compression, because I'm noticing the vocal is very dynamic. When he sings soft versus when he sings loud is very different in volume. We want to contain that or compress that so it'll sit in the mix much better. And it also makes it easy for the singer to hear themselves, because even when they sing soft, they can still hear themselves clearly. So let's add a compressor. I'm going to use the Pro Tools Pro Compressor, but again, most compressors work pretty much the same. Now the way this compressor works, we can view it right here, what's happening. As the volume goes up here, we can decide what we can press with the threshold right here. We can adjust it here or here. So if the ratio is set to 1:1, it's not going to make any change.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear.
As the volume gets louder, nothing actually changes. But with the ratio set higher, about 4:1, once the volume reaches the threshold right here, it's going to bring the volume down or compress it at a 4:1 ratio, which you can see right here. So watch what happens and listen as we bring the threshold down.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear, even though all my intentions happen from the heart. It's gone too long, I can't keep playing the part.
It grabs the loud pieces and brings them down to match the quieter ones, so it's not as dynamic. Let's play around with the attack. If we set the attack to be fast, it will react quickly to the threshold being crossed, and compress quickly after that, cutting off or reducing a lot of the first transients.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear.
With a slower attack, it's going to let those first transients go through and grab it a bit later.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear, even though all my intentions happen from...
Now the release sets the length of time it takes for the compressor to return to normal once the signal has gone back below the threshold. Watch what happens with a quick release. Watch the gain reduction meter right here.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear.
It bounces back very quickly. With a slow release,
Don't you go, this I need you to hear.
It doesn't bounce back as quickly, so it's a more subtle effect, as it's not reacting to every single volume change. So it's not as aggressive, and it won't pump as much either.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear. Even though all my intentions happen from the heart, it's gone too long, I can't keep playing the part.
And then we could adjust the makeup gain, which brings the volume up to make up for how much we compressed it.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear. Even though all my intentions happen from the heart.
Bypass it.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear.
It's much more dynamic.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear. Even though all my intentions.
With it on, it's much more controlled. The loud sections and the quiet sections are closer in volume now, which will make it more even in the mix. Now the next thing I'm noticing is that the vocal, even though it's not muddy, could still be a bit brighter. Now there's a reason I did this in a certain order. I like to cut low end first before it hits the compressor, because low end will trigger that compressor unnecessarily when that low end's not going to be there at the end. So if we're filtering out low end, I do that first, then I compress it. But then if I want to add top end, I do that after the compressor. So we have a nice even vocal to add top end too. So let's add another EQ after the compressor. And that's the nice thing about doing this in the box. We have plenty of plugins to work with, so we can put the same plugin before and after and treat them differently. So let's add some top end.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear. Even though all my intentions happen from the heart, it's gone too long, I can't keep playing the part of the man who wears his heart on his sleeve.
Bypass it.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear.
It's not as bright or clear.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear. Even though.
Now let's hear the whole thing in bypass.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear.
And back in.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear.
This sounds much better to me. It's much clearer, not as muddy, and very controlled. So when the singer hears themselves back, they're going to be much more excited or inspired. So I like to do that for the singer. Make it sound as finished as possible so when they're singing, they feel like they're singing on a finished record. So let's hear this with the band.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear. Even though all my intentions happen from the heart, it's gone too long, I can't keep playing the part.
In bypass.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear. Even though all my intentions happen from the heart.
Not as inspiring.
Don't you go, this I need you to hear. Even though all my intentions happen from the heart, it's gone too long, I can't keep playing the part of the man who wears his heart on his sleeve. It's comfortable, but you must know by now it's just not me. I can't stay with you, baby.
So I think that's much better. Let's move on to some monitoring effects.